Greetings, welcome again, everybody. Another video. We're gonna be talking about narcissists perfecting their craft on these online dating apps. You know, many of you've heard me before speak on it and speak about these online dating apps, and they're just not what you want to be on. It's not where you want to go. This is where narcs frequent. They stay on there pretty much, and let me tell y'all something. A lot of y'all do yourselves a great injustice by underestimating the craftiness of these narcissists, okay? And how their skill set. And one of the biggest common areas of where they constantly polish up on their skills is online, and specifically dating apps. Why is this? Well, primarily for supply, of course, but also to create a form of external entertainment for when they get bored with you, and to line up new sources of supply. What better place to go to? They can be minutes within minutes to talking to someone anywhere in the world, you know, and it's easy. It's not very hard. And you see, another thing, mainly the narcissist is they always have to be stimulated in some form or fashion. You know, that word, that saying, peace be still, that definitely did not come from them. Okay. Narcissists like to stay busy as a form of distraction from reality. They don't want to ever deal with reality, so they like to stay busy with other things, you know, being another character, talking to all these people online. And, you know, online dating apps is basically a testing ground for their many forms of manipulations that they perfect. You know, they have different things from, scripted greetings, sayings, and jokes. All of these things get perfected on these online dating apps. And all of it is first used on others that get on these apps. You know, a lot of you think you're going to get on there and you're going to try it out and it's going to be something decent. Nah, it's a bunch of these individuals on there because there's no way to really vet or to authenticate who's on there. Right? They can be who they want to be. They have power when they're able to show you or present themselves in a way to where you cannot fully validate. You don't have any way of doing that. And let me tell you, I'll get into a little bit more in depth about that, coming up here shortly. But they love that. And you ever notice? Well, I'll just talk about it now. You ever notice how narcissists can text or send an email message with such precision? Precision and articulation, but in a conversation where there's no time to practice or present, to you what they're going to say or what comes out. Well, at least they don't have any time to present what they're going to say to you. Comes out usually as a bunch of psychobabble, basically talking in circles. And you're left scratching your head like, how can they... how can they text so well? Especially after you had like an argument with them, had a little heated argument or something, and they can manage to put together this Shakespearean type of message with such vernacular, but they come off as a complete idiot in verbal communication. All right, and why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because practice makes perfect. These individuals are masters of recycled information with no application of putting to use the knowledge received to gain experience, at least, or to even validate what they've been getting, information-wise. And many of you who have lived with these individuals are surprised when you find out When the final discard comes and they have moved on so fast to another source of supply, you know, they were pretty much, on these dating sites the whole time while you were together, and you may overlook that and not think like, well, how could they pull that off? How could they, they weren't, because I hear a lot of people say, well, they never really cheated on me. Like they never caught them cheating. Well, cheating doesn't have to be physical. They can cheat on you by, you know, entertaining sexual or illicit conversations with someone other than their significant other. That's cheating. You've just breached the agreement of trust right there. And some people say, well, they didn't actually or do anything physical, so it can't be that bad, right? And they're not even in the same state or anything like that, so it can't be something that they can actually carry out. So there's not much harm to that, right? Wrong. In many ways, emotional cheating can actually be worse and can quickly lead to that forbidden fantasy being fulfilled, at least. All that tension build up, what's it called? Sexting and all these messages and, that's stuff that shouldn't be entertained if you have someone that you have basically, if someone's basically giving you their trust and you're doing that. Because you see like I said, what ends up happening is, they end up building up a lot of sexual tension and anticipation of foreign gratification. They're going to want that gratification at some point, from someone other than you. And it also leads to neglect of the other person. They'll start the attention. It just doesn't seem like they're not there. They're distant. Their minds seem gone and off of you. You know what I'm saying? Constantly forgetting things, and especially when it comes to stuff that you may have wanted or whatnot. They're forgetting these things. How do they pull all of this off? Well, they're smart about it. They create decoys. Being on the phone, all the time, talking about you on that Candy Crush, that's gotten old. People got hip to that, so they can't do that. So they're on the computer. The no phone in the hand, no suspicion, right? Well, that's, at least, not as suspicious, as being on the phone constantly. If you see them on the phone constantly, you're going to pick up something on the phone. So they go into telling you, they start setting the scene. I think I want to pick up a new hobby. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take up this. I want to take up art. I want to do graphic design. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, okay, well, be on the computer. I'm gonna practice. I'm gonna go in the paint shop. They got paint shop on here. Yeah, they got paint shop. You know what I'm saying? So they on the computer all day long, day and night. Oh, I'm just working on this little piece. I mean, I like this. Except, only thing is the quality of the work. When you finally get to look at it, looks like a first grader's paint shop project with stick figures drawn as the art. That doesn't add up, right? Doesn't add up, but it's the perfect decoy to be on there. And a lot of times you don't know that this is, when you meet a narcissist, they don't tell you, well, I'm a serial online dater. I'm constantly online. I've been online for years, and I have a problem. Probably they're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you that they're running around here with a 60 word per minute key proficiency on a keyboard, you know. And some of these narcs are typing better than county clerks. So, you know, they can get away with it. I mean, they typing up messages left and right. You know, they push messages out at lightning speed to hundreds of people in an hour. They've been doing this for so long and so much where they don't even have to look at the damn keyboard. You know what I mean? And they didn't even go to any trade school for that. They taught themselves how to do that. They taught themselves how to go through and type up. And I gotta be honest, this is one of my red flags. I never trust, especially nobody from the hood. If you're from the hood, and you got more than a 15 word per minute typing speed proficiency, that's a red flag to me. That's a red flag. You know, that's that handwork. You got good handwork. Your fingers is quick, and if your fingers quick, they quick on the phone keypad too. You see some people rambling off real fast on the phone like that. Red flag. You know what I'm saying? It's too proficient with the hands on the messaging, and a lot of this, you know, is where you start finding out other things. You know, because this is training for them. This is like, you know how special forces in the military, they go to Fort Bragg and, you know, Camp Lejeune and all that. They learn different type. Well, that's what online dating is for narcs. That's like going to jump school. They're going to be Rangers. Going to Fort Bragg, Fort Benning. You know, you find out that they speak 3 different languages. You didn't even know they speak other languages. They speak French, Swahili, and Arabic. You know, and you none the wiser, so they can communicate with all types of people from different areas, and it's just like, once somebody is in that world, it's hard to get out to. They need like a 12-step program really for people who are on there, because even if you start dating somebody that's used to being, let's say they did like, let's say they did 8 rotations, you know, on 8 years at least on these online dating things, it's gonna condition them to only be able to feel comfortable in that environment, in that setting. And when things get bad or get tough around in your relationship, guess where they're going to be at? You guessed it. Back online. Back online. And you're going to find yourself in a situation that you don't really want to be in. So think about that, you know. Especially if you go online, if you're meeting people online, it might be a question you want to slip in there to them, like, "Hey, how do you feel about online dating? You ever had your experience on that?" You know, you might want to get that in. Now, I'm not saying for everybody, but I'm talking about people who have been on their, you know, like their career online daters. You know, for the most of their experience has came through online dating. My opinion, this is my opinion, I personally don't think that's a good thing. Anyway, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Take care of yourselves. Till next time, have a good one.